These are now former ramen shop owners. I've been running this shop since I was around 22, and I've always thought it would be nice to do this until I'm about 35. In the end, I got to talk with lots of customers, but now there's nothing left for me to do. Across the bustling streets of Tokyo, a sobering trend emerges. Research reveals a shocking near twofold increase in the closure of ramen shops last year alone. And despite having a steadfast fan base, the ramen industry is facing an existential crisis. But why is this happening? How can we understand it, and could it be due to the infamous 1,000-yen wall? Ramen finds its humble beginnings as a celebratory dish introduced from China in the late 15th century. And as it's evolved into a beloved cultural staple, ramen has flourished due to its culinary allure and high profitability. But seismic shifts in societal dynamics now cast a shadow over this once thriving industry. To begin with, the advent of the internet has transformed the landscape of the food business, empowering customers with unprecedented access to information. In an era where reputation reigns supreme, the fate of a ramen shop hangs dangerously in the balance of online reviews. The challenges extend beyond cyberspace. Simply starting a location is fraught with complexities, having to choose amidst difficult urban areas, places where the presence of strange loitering figures can deter potential customers. And understanding the nuances of clientele demographics has become crucial. It's a delicate balance between finding a location and understanding the consumer base, teetering on a knife's edge, like trying to be an anime fan, but not a weeb. But it's not just external forces that threaten ramen shops. Inside the industry, a confluence of factors put immense pressure on shop owners, from rising ingredient costs to labor shortages caused by an aging society. And amidst the challenges of staffing ramen shops, employees also endure the strain of standing all day, deterring potential employees. Additionally, starting a ramen shop requires a large investment of around 20 million yen. And while renting the space of a closed ramen shop may seem more economical, you have to carefully consider the reasons behind its failure. And even if a ramen shop is successful, despite having loyal patrons, long-standing ramen shops all over Japan are closing. For example, this ramen shop that ran for 25 years and has recently closed due to a steep rise in ingredient prices. In this case, as grocery costs increased by 1.5 times, restaurant ingredient prices surged by 2 times. And as evidenced, in today's Japanese economy, inflation is rampant. And while utility costs continue to soar, the real main culprit behind the surge of closures is the infamous 1,000-yen wall. In an ideal scenario, when demand is high and profits are low, prices increase to reach a sustainable equilibrium. Yet, in the ramen industry, there's a certain cultural price ceiling, the 1,000-yen wall. And rather than surpassing this price barrier, many opt to close down or face eventual bankruptcy. This poses a significant obstacle for ramen shop owners. So, why don't they raise prices anyways? Ramen has not been able to overcome the 1,000-yen wall for this major reason. Amongst consumers and restaurant owners alike, ramen has a strong perception as cheap and tasty. And despite using high quality ingredients, it's still difficult for customers to intuitively perceive a ramen bowl's value. Meanwhile, many shop owners feel they have to focus on setting low prices to please customers. While some are willing to pay more than 1,000 yen for quality ramen, many perceive even 800 yen as expensive. And while some restaurants still aspire to charge higher prices, they end up struggling due to consumer demand for affordable ramen. So, many ramen shops operate at a high cost ratio and low profit margin. Only popular restaurants with unique offerings can afford to price their ramen above 1,000 yen. However, even these establishments struggle to remain profitable as they face challenges becoming mainstream in the industry. There's another thing about the discussion around ramen. People often fixate on the dish's price without acknowledging its evolving nature. The thing is, the future of the ramen industry hinges on recognizing the various kinds of ramen establishments and pricing them accordingly. It's easy to understand if we compare it to sushi. It should come as no surprise that the prices at a conveyor belt sushi chain, a privately owned popular sushi joint, and a high-end sushi restaurant are different. Even in the case of Japanese soba, there are stand-up soba restaurants, chain soba diners, and even handmade soba restaurants where a seido costs more than 1,000 yen. Though, unlike sushi or soba, ramen is typically consumed quickly, limiting the perceived value of meals priced over 1,000 yen. And the issue extends beyond that. Patrons also prioritize affordability when it comes to ramen. They often can't afford to spend more than 1,000 yen on a bowl. This preference poses a significant barrier for shop owners seeking to raise prices. So, last year saw a record number of ramen shops declaring bankruptcy or closing their doors. This surpasses even the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite bustling shops and loyal customers, many long-standing establishments are disappearing. And while demand may suggest a continuous supply of ramen within the industry, if we lose hundreds or even thousands of cherished ramen spots, is it really still alive? Ramen initially became popular due to its deliciousness and profitability. Yet, its reputation as an inexpensive yet tasty meal now poses a challenge. While the industry has gone through previous troubles, it currently faces a unique cultural dilemma. Whether this marks the end of ramen in Japan remains uncertain, but it's evident that significant changes are underway. And there you have it, the rundown on the state of ramen in Japan. What are your thoughts on the future of ramen? Comment down below and let's talk about it. And if you found this video intriguing, make sure to hit that like button. Until next time, this is Josen, signing off.